Well, good afternoon and welcome to Double K Home Projects. Well, today we are continuing to work on our basement wall here, the plate up there, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Up here, as you can see, we're going to be working up here in this area here, chipping this out. We'll probably go on down the line as far as we can get today. Anyway, it has been really cold again. It was nice for a couple weeks there where we were having some really good weather, but the temperature dropped off, and as you know, we don't have a furnace right now, so I have to tend to getting this place heated up with the heaters, and I gotta watch them, and it makes for some tough times, you know. So anyway, that's why we're doing all this basement stuff. Eventually we're going to get a new furnace put in. So we're continuing to go down the wall here, and I'm just chipping out still around the plate, and I'm going to do some mortar work, but I don't think I'll be doing the mortar in the next day or two because of how cold it is. When I come down here in the basement today, it was 45 degrees. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty chilly. I mean, it's not bad, but it's pretty chilly to be in wet mortar, you know, cold mortar. So I've got it heated up to about, let's see, about 52. Let's check it out. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? It says 52. We got a humidity of 53%. I do have a dehumidifier down here, but I don't have it on. So anyway, we have got a kerosene heater down here heating this place up right now. And I've been letting it run for a while today just to get it warmed up to 52. And so I've got to shut all the heaters down. I've got a couple electric heaters going and a kerosene heater, and getting this place all heated up so that I can actually work fairly comfortably. So that's where we're going to get going today. We're just chipping out some more stuff. First, we're going to be sweeping the area to get all the cobwebs and stuff. There's nails up in there I'm going to have to take off. It's just the normal thing like I've been doing. I've got to get that stuff done first before I can get insulation up. So I did find a big leak down the wall here where there is a ton of cold air coming in. I mean, it's coming in like there's a door open. All right, so I'm sure there's other places around this plate in this old basement that I've got the same situation. So that's why we're starting here, and we're going all the way around, and we're just going to start fixing and shoring up everything, getting the holes plugged up, and getting some insulation in. Now, I did do a little bit of research on the type of insulation. Now, I'm using Styrofoam and great foam, or great stuff, spray foam up around the square pieces I'm going to be putting up in this plate. We're going to be using, I think I'm going to buy some rock wool. I call it rock wool. I've heard other people call it rock wall. That may be an accent thing. But it's rock wool insulation, and evidently that type, and you may know this, I don't know, you can leave it in the comments. I believe that there's mold resistant. And that's what I'm worried about with, I did buy that other insulation, the other pink fiberglass. Well, you know, I can maybe use that somewhere else. But down here in this basement, it's damp all the time, you know. So I'm thinking about putting some rock wool insulation over the Styrofoam and laying it over the top of the actual plate to just try to get it sealed off really good so that we don't have to worry about air coming in. Now, when I seal up the outside wall, because there's cracks outside where all the mortar's coming out of the rock and in between, and it's just coming right through where there's other, you know, where there's other holes like that. I can feel a little bit of air coming through this little crack right here. You can feel air coming through. Well, when I get that sealed up and get it sealed up on the other side outside, come springtime, I think I can get this place sealed up a lot better and keep the place warm. Then once I get a furnace put in, that will help keep the basement warmer. Because right now I have an issue with water freezing. My pipe's freezing because I have, when they built this place, whoever redid it put a lot of the plumbing on the outside walls, okay? And they didn't insulate. They didn't insulate the pipes. So they are copper, but you know, I did have a bust one time, and it was copper. I got it fixed, but you know, it was a mess. I had water spraying all over this basement. So as I do all this, I'm going to insulate things as good as I possibly can. I mean, the whole place really needs redone, but I don't know that we have enough time to do that. I know also, I wanted to mention, I know in my other couple videos, I know you guys are probably looking up there at them old floorboards and they're a mess. Okay, they're a mess up there. They look like they're just like rotted, but they're not really. They look like they are, but they're not. But what there is they've got boards over those. Okay, they got plywood over the subfloor here, so it's sturdy. All that stuff is underneath cabinets upstairs. I can't, unless I tear the cabinets clear out of my kitchen, which I may do eventually. I can't replace those boards until then. So, you know, that's a whole other project. So if I ever do that, I may go ahead and tear that subfloor out and put new flooring in, a new subfloor in. So, but until then, those boards are going to stay just like that. And they're not hurting anything. Nobody walks on that area. It's the cabinets are just sitting on it. So I just wanted to explain that because I know people probably saw it, and I'm like, you know, it looks nasty, but it works. So we're worried more about the air coming in, the gaps right now. So we'll worry about the other part later. So with that, hey, let's get started. Okay, well, we have filled our sweeper up now, so I am going to have to stop and get this vacuum emptied out. I think I'll have to buy me some new bags too. I've got a couple, I believe, but this is filling up pretty fast. I got a lot of stuff up there taken out, so all right, well, that's what we're going to do next, is get this thing emptied and so we can continue on.
We're going to go ahead and move down to this other bay. It's going to be fun too. I got a lot of wiring and stuff in the way, old junky wiring that's going to have to be redone at some point.
Well, we are getting ready to get into a difficult situation here where I've got a bunch of boards all together. There's a ton of air coming in right here. I've got this one board in here that I've got to get out somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. It's not flat, so it's going to be hard to bust out of there. I've got a bunch of wires in the way. I don't know if you can see all that. I'm going to have to take these wires loose and try to get them out of my way a little bit. But anyway, there's a big old slot up here too underneath the plate, and you can see clear outside. That's why I have all that plastic up here. I've got to get that out of there. I'm not going to be doing any mortar today. It's still too cold outside, and if I, stick mortar up through there, it's going to freeze on the other side, and it won't set up. So I'm going to at least get it cleaned out as much as I can all through here and get it prepared to do some mortaring. I'm just about down to the corner here where I wanted to get. I'll probably go on around too, but at least if I can get this done, that'll be good. It's going to be a tight area to work in, really, really tight. So we'll just see how we can get her done, Oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know, I did buy me a new little headlamp here. It's okay. You still see some lines, flicker, but it's better than the other one I've got. Now I like to use my other one, but I can't video with it because it flickers too much. So, but I got me a new little headlamp here, and hopefully it's not flickering like the other one did, and you can see a little bit better. So that ought to be good.
All right, let's get this up out of here. Get it out of the way for now. I've got tons of rock here. I need to save those slivers. I can stuff them back up in there. Come on out of there. More paper.
All right, well, up in here, I'm not sure you can see. I'm going to shine a light on that up in there. There is a bunch of, straight through gaps, straight through to the outside. Now, I'm thinking about going ahead and going to this floor joist here and mortaring from here back to where I've already got it completed. I'm going to have to wait till it gets a little warmer, maybe in a day or so. But I don't want to take any more out of this corner because it's just crumbling away, and I don't want there to be any settling. I don't want to cause it to even settle more. So I'm going to get some, rock and stuff and put up under here and get it mortared in so that it secures that before I take any more out. Not that it would go down because, the foundation goes on down. But this is a corner right here, and there's a lot riding on this corner. So before I take any more out of there, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'm going to stuff some plastic back in here just to keep it from air coming in so much. There's a ton of air coming in. It's bad. So I may need to sweep on back just like I did with that little sweeper hose. I may have to sweep on back here because that does do a good job up in there. So I'll probably go back and sweep that here in just a bit and then get it ready to go. And just depending on the weather, it's supposed to warm up in the next couple days, and I need to get mortar up in there. And some more. I took a lot of rock out of there. I'm going to put mortar in, and I'm going to jam some rock up in there too to try to get that thing sealed up. I just don't want to go too far taking all this mortar out because it's liable to. It's setting on some rock, so as long as I don't touch that, it should be okay. But we'll see. All right. Well, I'll see you in the next segment. Okay, well, today is a new day. It's morning time on Wednesday, the 25th, I do believe. We are getting ready to do a little bit of mortar work today. I decided to go ahead and get her done today. It's supposed to be about 46 degrees here in a little while. I've got it up to about 54 in the basement. I'm going to go ahead and try to get just a little bit of mortar work done today so it can set up and hopefully seal all that crack up there. So we have to get that little bit of section done before we head on down and get the rest of it done. So let's get started.
I've got me some sticks, different thicknesses, to stuff that mortar up underneath that plate. Get it back in there and get it solid. We'll be needing those. Now, gonna move this rock over here for right now. It goes right there. But first, we're gonna start in here and get this section here filled up. Okay, here we go. Okay, get you out of the way for a minute. Might as well take my hand and just start throwing it up in there. Okay. Okay. Get up there. Oh, that's a pretty big gap, so I'll use the big one here. Trying to get her up in there. How hard to do it once to pull it right back out. Hard to get up in there to do this. Okay. Okay. There's a board right there. I'll have to pack up here in just a minute. Oh, I got a pretty big batch here of mortar mixed up. Gosh, probably more than I can use. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not. Oh, I need to scoot my ladder over. Let me get that back there first, taken care of. It's right back in here. Okay, and we'll clean that up a little later. Right now, as I can. And there's going to be some air coming in for a while. I'm going to start cleaning up.
Well, good morning. It's the next day and we are getting ready to kind of finish this corner edge here. Problem is we've got a bunch of wires that are in the way and we need to take this block of wood out that's supposedly a support. I'll have to probably put something back in there, but I cannot get back into that plate unless I take that piece of board out, and that's going to be really hard. I'm going to have to literally chisel it out, okay, to get back into it. So I'm going to have to get some tools, sharpen some tools up, probably some chisels and things like that, so that I can get that done. I'll show you here what I'm talking about. Okay, we've got a bunch of wires right here if you can see that or not, but a bunch of wires right there. I've got to unloose those. I've got to take them off. So I got to be careful doing that. There's a block of wood. Let's see if we can see it. See that big block of wood right there? Right in the middle of the screen. That big block of wood right there. We got to get out of there, okay? Now, it looks like what I really need to do is pull those beams together. I don't know if you can see there's a gap, and then put a new piece of board in there and pull those two and get them secure. That way that beam is a little bit more secure there. Anyway, I cannot get back up in that plate in that area unless I take that board out. And I need to get up in there so that I can insulate that portion of this plate area. So it's going to be fun. So today we're going to start with unloosing these wires here and moving them out of the way. Eventually I'm going to put them someplace else anyway, but for now I need to just kind of get them out of the way so that I can get up there to that block. And if I can get all that done, then we will continue chipping out and cleaning up and doing some more mortar work. So anyway, that's where we're going to start today. See you in a minute. Okay, we are trying to get these wires undone right here. Okay, so I got to be real careful not to cut the wires doing it. So I don't know that I really need to do anything with these. This one here, this is a big old 220 that went to an old air conditioner. I'm going to take it completely out. It's unhooked, but it goes on into the other room. I'll just try to feed it through and coil it up until I get over there to that part of it, and then I'll just take it clear out, take the plug and everything out. I'll probably replace that plug because it's just a regular outlet type plug size. I'll probably put a new outlet in that just to take up the space, but for now we're gonna take this wire loose here, right here, but there's a couple more staples on around the side that I need to get. Won't video that, but let's get started. I gotta grab my tools. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what we're gonna run into. Okay. All right. And this is old oak. This stuff is in there. It's hard to get out. It really is. So let me see what we got here. I don't know if I can get that up in there without damaging the wire. I'm going to try not to cut the wire. Okay, it's coming out. Let's see what we can do here. Yes, there we go. Okay, I gotta be careful. I don't want this stuff to go flying down the drain, which is fully opened. All right, just an old metal staple. Here's the wire, as you can see. I'm gonna just feed it up through here and get it out of here if I can. Okay, now I'm gonna just for now I'm just gonna coil it up here like so, if I can. Like I said, it's not hooked up. Of course, this was where you hooked it up, but it is hooked up to an old box, an old 220 box that a big old window air conditioner used to run off of. We're just going to roll this up out of the way if we can for now. All right, let's go back to the rest of our wires right here. I got a little, looks like a little tack. We'll get that out of there. It's like a little thumbtack. All right, we got some weird looking. They couldn't even get the nails all the way in on this. So they're just kind of pecked in there and bent over. Is that plastic? No, that's a metal one. Let's see if we can get them out. Should be able to. Fairly easy. There, I got that one out. It's just a metal clamp. They make plastic ones now. I don't know if you see that or not. Yeah, when I go to rewire it and putting these little plastic saddles in, like it's up here, you usually have to drill holes. You have to drill the holes in this old oak. It just bends the nails. Well, let's see what we can do here. Now that nail is kind of out a little bit, so I can get him out. Actually, I can pull him clear out and maybe get that wire out. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Put that in my pocket. Okay, good. Well, those are coming out way easier than I thought they would. That's a plastic one. Okay, let's see about this one here. I don't know about. I think I'll take a. I don't really want to pry on that wire. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Got to pry it out a little bit. There. Now I'm trying to stay away from the wire. I don't want to cut the wire, especially since it's live, you know? Okay, I don't know where that went. I see it about 2 foot from the drain. Don't want any nails going down the drain, I'll tell you that. Okay, there we go. Now let's see if I can get the rest of it out of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, got those out of the way. I don't know. I'm gonna try not to have to move these very old wires. I just don't want to touch them right now. We're eventually gonna replace all that, but oh my gosh, this old house, unbelievable. Combination of old and new. Now, let's see if I can get these up out of my way a little. Yeah. Okay. Wish I had a wire. You know what? I do have wire that I could wire that up for right now, just to get it up out of my face. So I'll be back. I'm gonna get some wire, even if it's just like bread tie wire or something, you know. Some long ones, trash bag wires, you know. I need to wire this thing up and get it out of my face, so I'll be back. Okay, well, we have got our wires down as good as we can. I've got these back, got them tied up here with a wire. Actually, I got them tied in a couple places just to kind of keep them up out of this area here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a chisel and try to chisel up with the grain and split this thing out and just get it out of there. Now, like I said, I'll probably have to put a new piece in there to keep these things from buckling or going out, but they're already like trying to spread out. So there's another one of these blocks right back here, it's about 2.5 foot away, that will still support it. But there again, I do need to pull it in with clamps or whatever and get some screws and just run some screws in that and tighten that back up. And I may even put bigger boards up in there. We'll see. This wall here on the other side of it's just a brick wall clear down to the floor, and I'm thinking about, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it is tear this wall clear out. I'm going to put some posts in, and it's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to put some posts in to open this place up. All right, I've got this wall, and then on the other side of the stairs, this going this way is the stairway that goes up, okay, to the upstairs. I've got a brick wall on each side of this stairs. Now, one thing I'll have to do is probably rebuild the stairs because I think that the stairs are probably anchored into these brick walls. So we'll just have to see how that works. I may have to really support it up there on the plate where it goes back, right before it goes upstairs. I'm gonna have to support those boards real good somehow, and then support them down here, and then once I get the post, start tearing this out and putting posts in, I'll have to somehow clamp them to the post or something. It'll probably be okay, but I mean, this old stairs is rickety anyway, so it needs replaced and repaired. It actually just needs a new stair built. So we're probably looking at doing all of that too. Well, let's get started. I gotta get my chisel here. I wanna get my mask put on because I wanna create some dust here that I do not want to be breathing.
Let's see what we can do. Oh yeah! Look at that. Yeah. That's what we're into right now, is the nails. Okay, yeah, I got a bunch of nails up there. The only thing I'm going to be able to do back in there is just fill that thing full of foam. And I've got the tool to do it. Good thing I bought that 2-foot foam applicator. I can stick that thing back in there. So now I've got to get these nails out of there. I've got 3 nails there. 1, 2, and 3. There'll be some cleanup in aisle 1 over here. I mean, the best thing I could probably do is just, up there I can't really do a whole lot. I might be able to get up in there with my clippers maybe and get the top ones. I might be able to sawzall off those, I don't know. These 3 I might be able to get from the outside. Okay, I never have any luck, really, using the sawzall, but I'm gonna try. I can only get to these lower ones though, because my blade ain't long enough. I'd have to get a longer blade. Let's see what we can do. Wow, that cut right through that, man. I can't believe that. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Hey. Wow, that cut right through it. The 6-inch blade. I definitely am gonna have to have a longer blade for those up there. Question is, would it even work, I'd like to get it out there because I'd really like to put another board up in there. I may have to make a run and get me a longer blade. This is a Bauer. Harbor Freight, it's okay. I've seen a lot nicer ones people have, but this is the budget form. That worked really good. I cannot believe how that cut those off. It just whacked them right off. That's awesome.
Okay, well, I believe we're going to be ending the video right here. The video is getting kind of long, so as you saw me just cut those nails off, I've got to find me a bigger blade or a longer blade, metal blade, and see if I can get the rest of those cut out of there. I'd like to have them flush. That way I can possibly get another board up in there just to help support and make that beam just a little bit more heavy. I'd really like to do that all the way down, and I may be able to, but we'll have to see. Hopefully I can get a longer blade to reach up in there, because there's some clear up in the top by the floorboard. They're going to be hard to do without smacking the bottom of the floorboard, so it's got to be careful. All right, well, anyway, so that's where I'm going to stop today, and when we pick it up again in the next video, we'll start right there, or we got to finish that corner, okay? But I've got to do a few things before I can get up there and chip and mortar and all that stuff. So that'll be in the next video. So stay tuned, come back and watch it. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment and ring the bell on the way out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.